Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. So I want to give you a heads up. There's going to be some changes coming as far as how I put this out here. It will always be on my Facebook page. And by the way, I never say this, but you should probably like and share this page. If you feel like it provides anything for you, then it must be valuable. And if it's valuable, wouldn't you want it to be available to other people since it costs you nothing? Just a thought. I don't make any money off of it. It just, I do this because God's called me to share what He's sharing with me. So just wanted to say that. But the changes that are coming. There is a YouTube channel now. Pastor Stitch YouTube channel. And so feel free to go like and share that as well. But the idea being that there are many that don't have Facebook, can't have Facebook, whatever. And it gives you the opportunity to be able to connect and see these at a time that's convenient for you. And they're available to share in a different way that way. I'm also going to be putting together a website where we can, I don't know how that's going to work. I'm still talking to God about what that looks like. So there's some exciting things coming up with this daily devotion that we're doing. And I'm excited for how God's going to work that out. But just wanted you to give that heads up. So right now, I am just live on Pastor Stitch. I will upload this video to YouTube, and then I will share the YouTube out to the Narrow Path Church page so that it can be out there. So if you want to catch me live, you have to like Pastor Stitch on Facebook right now and ask it to notify you when I go live. I won't be live on the church pages. So just giving you that heads up. So this morning as I was going through stuff, so been a long day already. Woke up early to a mess in my house. I got all the tools to clean up the mess, but the toilet overflowed and kept running, and we ended up with gallons and gallons of water on the floor and soaking into the walls and carpets, and it's a mess. And I've been working for a while cleaning that up. I took a break so I could get some coffee in me and spend my time with God, because this morning I had an emergency that made it so I couldn't get into my word first thing. It's a rarity for me that I do that. But what I did do was continually talk to God and ask Him to just give me a sense of peace until I could get to His Word. And I'm grateful for what He's done so far in my day. After yesterday, it could have been a huge disaster, but I'm grateful for what happened. So this morning as I was spending my time with God, I got to thinking about a verse in Scripture. And Jesus was talking to the Pharisees, and He said, "You whitewashed tomb." And it was meant to be an insult to them. And so I went to look it up so I could read the context, and ended up flipping to the wrong chapter to read it. And as I was reading the parable of the talents. A person has great wealth, and they're going away, and they give this wealth to people and entrust them to use it in a way. And then when he comes back, he goes to the people and says, "Okay, what did you do with the wealth that I gave you?" And the first person, he doubled that wealth. The second person doubled his wealth. But the third person, he wasn't given a whole lot, but he was given what he could be trusted with. And he, instead of doing things wisely with it, just went and buried it and did nothing with it because he was afraid he'd screw it up. And I got to thinking about that. And isn't that sometimes what we do with the words of wisdom that somebody shares with us? as they have experienced life and they have something we don't have. It's funny to me. I often engage with people who come to me who have a spiritual background, right? And great knowledge of the Bible. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I can't quote Bible chapter and verse, but I know it, okay? I know the tenets of the Word. I spend a lot of time reading it. I'm not going to quote it perfectly. I'm going to give you the gist of what it says, and then if we need to, we can go look it up and read it together and hash it out. And I'm happy to do that, all right? But I have conversations with people that know the Word so well. But they'll come to me and they're having a struggle in their life. And I start to share with them something about what they need to know, a piece of wisdom, a piece of wealth that they can use and expand on and grow with. And the first thing they do is correct me on how the fact that I may not have articulated it perfectly. Or they'll stop me mid-sentence and tell me they know what I'm going to say, and that's not appropriate, or it doesn't apply. And it's no different than the servant that took the one talent and buried it in the ground. You just lost everything. Not only did you lose that one talent that wasn't yours in the first place, because it's going to get taken away from you and given to somebody else that can use it, but you're no longer going to have that connection, that trust, that faith from the person that gave it to you. I will say this, oftentimes when people come to me and I'm ready to share something with them, I'm looking at them and my first thought in my head is, I've been where you're at. I really have. I understand exactly what you're saying. I have been there. And I want to save you all the heartache I went through. So if you just listen to me for a minute, I can give you some wisdom that will propel you past that. To get told that I'm wrong. My response in my head is, you've never been where I am. But I've been where you're at. Might be good to listen. My next response, almost always, if you hear these words as you cut me off mid-sentence, most of the time I'm going to say, oh, okay, and I'm going to shut my mouth. Because what you're telling me is I'm stupid and you don't need what I have to share with you. And I'm going to respect that. And that takes me back to my first thought. You whitewashed tombs. Let me give you that in more modern day English. Might be offensive to the Christianese people out there, but get your head out of your ass. It's about the same language. It doesn't correlate. It's not, but it's about the same as far as how we would hear it today in comparison to how they would hear you whitewashed tomb. So my thought for today is, if you got something going on and there's somebody in a place where you want to be and you don't know how to get there, if you go to them and you share your struggle, which you should, which, by the way, I'm not good at. I had to go to my accountability team this morning and let them know that I didn't do that yesterday when I was struggling, and apologize to them, and then fill them in on what was going on today in my life. Big mess. As soon as I'm done here, I got to go in with the shop vac and suck some more water up out of all the carpets and see if I can't get the fans and dehumidifiers running in the house. And I may end up having to call into work, depending on what the walls look like here in just a little bit. But I need to get this taken care of, right? One of my accountability team reminded me that I was trying to carry a load that I should have been sharing yesterday. I knew that yesterday, but I didn't articulate it. I didn't share it. When you go to somebody that's is someplace that you want to be, and you share your stuff, then you got to be willing to listen to what they're going to share with you. See, when it comes to trust, trust isn't about not hearing negative stuff. It's not about getting information that won't hurt. You're going to get information that's going to be painful, and you're not going to want to hear it. That doesn't mean they're being vindictive or harmful to you. It means they're loving you right where they're at, right where you're at. That's what trust is about, is letting people give you what you need in the moment, even though it might be painful. It's a choice, not a feeling. And people get confused. Life is about the choices you make, not the feelings you feel. Feelings lie to you every second of every day, and if you follow a feeling, you will always end up in a pit. And that's the truth. So today, hopefully, you received the 10 talents, and you're out there investing it in your life so that it can return multiplied for you. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. And don't forget, today is the 13th. Read Proverbs 13. God bless.